Hello there, and welcome to this episode of the GrowVC Everyone Funding Startups podcast. I'm your host, Marcus, and today we're widening our horizons and taking a peek into the startup scene in Spain. With our local platform concept, we're trying to empower local actors in the startup world to take initiative and help us make our virtual Silicon Valley reach all startups wherever they are. As Spanish is the third most spoken language in the world, the reach of the Spanish-speaking community is very relevant in today's world, but most definitely in tomorrow's global economy as well. Today I'm joined by Javier Rincon. Javier, would you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hello, Marcus. First of all, thanks a lot for having me today. It's a pleasure. Well, I got started in the entrepreneurial community about a year and a half ago, 2 years. I was working in Oracle in Malaga, in the south of Spain, and I had the opportunity to get into what it is now the biggest social entrepreneurial community in Spain, called Iniciador. This was very located in the capital, and when I found out that there was an opportunity to push this community in other local cities in Spain, I took the chance and did it in Malaga. What did this for me? It was open doors for another great path, different to a corporate world. And I ended up in Madrid working at a company or startup accelerator, working closely with entrepreneurs to kind of push their projects forward, and also managing the deal flow for an investors forum in Spain. I also carry on my own side projects that I would hope to be able to do full time in the future. And well, as I said, I'm happy to be here to you and talk to you guys.
We actually noticed you on This Week in Startups just recently. Could you, in a couple of thoughts, tell us what you see in the future for this concept and the movement?
Well, I'm a great fan for This Week in Startups and Jason Calcanis. And when working closely with startups, I not only in their business development and the product development, marketing strategy, I see what their chances of looking for new funding are. And when some of the projects don't come along to the final stages, I try to push them to find other activities where they can actually get their project to be more known. And This Week in Startups was one of them. So when they had announced that they were having a global meetup where the entrepreneurs had the chance to pitch to entrepreneur and business angel Jason Calacanis, I jumped right on the wagon. So I think this movement is actually great. You know, the whole fact that they are giving a global chance for projects to be able to network within each other and to business angels up in America. I think this is a great initiative and one that I'm happy to be taking part in.
Before moving on to our main discussion point for this podcast, let's look at the member highlight of the week from the GrowVC community, and that's a startup called Blue Planet. And Blue Planet finds, develops, and introduces green products that are scalable and meaningful to mainstream customers. Their tag phrase goes, "People do want to do the right thing, but they don't want to go out of their way to do it." You can follow Blue Planet in our community or on the Blue Planet homepage at theblueplanetgroup.com. Let's proceed to our main episode topic. You're obviously very active among entrepreneurs and investors both. So could you tell us how does the startup scene look in Spain?
I would say that it's really great. I mean, depending on who you ask this question, obviously you would be getting different answers now. But if we try to look at it from the entrepreneur side, the way I see things, it's a very great time to be living in. Many new people that are starting to get interested in the startup world. The fact that obviously the crisis has taken many jobs from different people has actually made individuals think that there must be another way to live life, and obviously the startup scene has beginning to take a very big impact on this. We're beginning to see great ideas, great motivation, the community that has been building up for the last 2 or 3 years has really begun to take its vibrant energy. And as I say, it's really, really exciting. From the investor side, obviously, there has been it has taken a bit of a toll in the last couple of years. I mean, we can't say that Spain has been the most active community in investment, but we're beginning to see things move again, new chances given to great projects. So the the startup scene is beginning to look more alive, I would have to say. It's definitely beginning to feel more of a community, more of a scene. As in before, there was just what they called in Spain a few locos, just doing crazy things, you know.
And what about the funding market? You mentioned it briefly, but how does startup funding look in the entrepreneur community in Spain?
As I said, things have definitely slowed down. I mean, we can see the way things have been going on in America, that the situation has obviously taken a more favorable side towards companies that are operating in the more later stage. Obviously, this has a very logical reason, because as funding the amount of funding is drying up in the venture capital fund, the remaining um, the remaining part of the money they can invest are obviously going to be dedicated towards companies that obviously they're participated in or that they have already invested in. And obviously the reason behind that is that their business model has already been proven, and thus the risk is much less. So we can actually translate this situation over in Spain. In Spain, the norm was that the venture capital firms obviously invest mostly always in later stage companies. The situation now, if we can say it's going a bit worse, is that they invest in later stage companies, and obviously with the factors, the typical qualities that the VC firm would like to invest in, such as I said, proven business model, sales, obviously trying to get to profitability. These are more exaggerated. So there is a bit of a gray area in between venture capital firms and seed funds. Uh, I think in Spain it can be felt very obviously. There is many companies, many startups that are struggling only to get to minimum viable product. So we're talking, between 50,000 and 200,000, 300,000 euros maybe, where you can say that the the entrepreneurs have actually taken what it is, maybe a great idea, and try to make it into at least a prototype of a product, where then they can try to prove that their model can actually be profitable in the end. So, so the funding market, as I say, it slowed down a little bit, but there is some great initiatives like GrowVC that are actually beginning to light hope into what is the startup scene. I mean, the fact that crowdfunding has begun to take such a stance in the startup world I mean, it's not mere luck. I mean, the great success is not a coincidence. I mean, it has been proven that crowdfunding is meeting this great need that traditional funding cannot accomplish on its own. I mean, we see that traditional funding models have been proven to be incomplete, and that they need a brother